She's seen that somewhere in her past that says it's okay, and she's gotten away with it. So she thinks that these two men fighting for her is an okay thing. She needs to understand that is not. And right there in that moment, yeah, she's going to roll around on the floor, thinks it's cute because this is what love looked like to her in her past. She don't know no better.
And a lot of women think possession is love. I see that all the time. Like that. Ooh, I like a man who's possessive over me.
You
That's
like him to love you more, right? Well, Tony
no.
is loving him more.
That's not. Come on. I thought you weren't tussling today, Sean.
Sean.
I
just
Tony loved to win more. Let's get that straight, Sean. That's not love her more. Tony loved to win more.
Yeah, he loves to win. 'Cause I'm talking about possession. I still stand on what I said, but I thought you was healed, Sean. Okay.
I am
so
healed.
You said you was healed and improved. It's a new
I
you.
am.
It was a short-term growth.
That's what I listen. Just because I'm offering an alternative opinion to yours and circling back. I'm taking a page from your book because you'll circle back to something that we said. So I'm just taking a page from your book and circling back to this is loving more.
No, I don't think so. Because I think we both know the difference between loving more and possession. I'm talking about being possessive.
Yeah, well, that's how it shows up sometimes. It shows up as a possession because he's loving her more and he's so considerate of her more.
Sean,
He
you
can't
are
stand
reaching
anybody else.
with the arm reach. He's Scotty Pimpers with the arm reach. He's grabbing in air right now.
I mean,
You just grabbing
I'm
in
loving the
right
interpretive
now.
dance move. I'm loving it.
I love it. I love it.
I agree.
I'm gonna play. And then there's still gonna be some girl in the comments talking about Sean. You right. Hell no.
Because she wants him to reach for her. She wants him to reach for her.
Y'all know I don't need nobody to agree with me to feel
I'm not even about to go down this road with
validated. So they can agree or disagree. I don't care. But my point is really my true point is I think that she miscalculated, and she miscalculated Lyndon, because when she was talking about and comparing the two men, she was talking about how Lyndon was the one that, would be good for her, right? And how Tony is the one that she probably likes on the physical level and the chemistry level, but it's probably not the one that's best for her long term. And I'm paraphrasing her comments. But the thing is that she miscalculated, right? So it's just be careful what you entertain, I think, is the real message, because she started off entertaining the pool game, thinking it was kind of funny and a little, whatever, but not seeing how it was going to escalate, right? It's not funny when things start to escalate. She even said it about when they got on that boat ride through the swamp. Right? She was like, oh, I see Lyndon coming over here and sitting next to me. He's always going to do this and that. So she exactly likes the attention, but when it's out of her control, that's when it's too much. And I think that's why you got to be careful when you play those games, because you play the wrong game and you play stupid games, we say you're going to get a stupid prize. And unfortunately, she caught a bunch of strays and it was not necessary, right? So I think, like, at the end of the day, she might have misread Lyndon's character too, because he was willing to take her out to prove a point. So, if he was emotionally intelligent, he would have had a conversation with her behind the scenes. So
I think Sean, you're saying, oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think you're saying what I'm saying. And I think it's also adding to what Jay is saying. Sometimes when you take it too far, you get this situation. But sometimes when you take it too far, it's also because, like Jay said, you're not healed. And hopefully the revelation is, and the lesson learned is that this is not the type of love you want, because it can result in this. And so everyone can learn from that. Because I doubt this is the outcome that she wanted, even if earlier she was enjoying the attention along the way. I think it got a little bit too far.
Don't play games.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, I agree. I think that she definitely instigated all of this from the very beginning. And I think she definitely likes that attention and being fought over. Like a lot of women like to see men fight or tussle over them because they think it's really cute. And it can be cute in the beginning, but I think particularly here as well, like Lyndon kind of started off as a pawn that she was using to get to Tony. And I think that in that way, she was trying to bring out this like machismo kind of vibes from Tony that I don't know if he necessarily really is that guy. I think that he is being what he knows she wants him to be, which is like a little bit more manly, aggressive, whatever you want to say. And so I think she pulls that out of him, and he was going back and forth with he was playing it up too much, where it got, because I even think they were a little bit lighthearted with each other at first about it, like just kind of laughing, like almost locker roomish, like with each other. And then at some point it just got into the ego situation where I think they lost control too, because I don't think they were that serious about it at first. But one thing I will say is I think now maybe she's looking at Lyndon a bit differently than a pawn at this point, because I don't think she ever thought he was the sexiest guy in the room. She was just saying that. But I think she, after this little tussle and the way he kind of pulled, even though it was wrong, and I think she was like horrified at how they were just going back and forth over her, I still think in a way she wanted to see who would triumph over the situation. And Lyndon really pulled a card that made Tony look really bad. And he lost that fight, and there was not much he could do after that. I mean, he just had to walk away. And then even at that point, she was just like, I'm just looking at you different. And he didn't even have anything to say. He was just like, well, dang, well, okay, you know. So I think now at this point, she's like, okay, Lyndon has a little bit of that aggression in him that I like, you know. I didn't see it at first, but it's there. And she'll probably forgive him more so, even though they both did the same thing, going back and forth, being disrespectful. But I think his apology comes off better because he won the fight. And you know, the fact that he said what he said about Tony, and Tony actually admitted that he said that, makes her look at him completely different. So even though it was toxic and I don't think it was right for them to go back and forth about it, I still think it's still the same thing. Like they fought and someone won, and now that's going to make her look at Lyndon differently, I think, but we'll see.
I don't know how I personally want either one of these dudes in that moment. Like after that situation right there, first of all, we're gonna add the whole y'all playing for me to sleep in whoever's room without even discussing anything with me. And then to top this off, you at the table, and then you're basically saying you would pass. I don't like when somebody tells anybody they would pass me to the next person if this was the case. That's like that that's that same up there with the ex-wifey comment or the ex-wife comment, like, bro, so I mean nothing to you. So that's why I said this man is in love with winning the game at any cost. He don't care about Morgan at all, even